Today we're going to create a health bar like the kind you find in From Software games such as Elden Ring and Dark Souls. These health bars have a distinct appearance where you have the main bar that will automatically move depending on your health, and then you have a secondary bar which is more highlighted with more saturated colors, and it will take some time to catch up to the main bar. Okay, let's see how we can create such a health bar. And not only that, but we're going to create a generic bar that you can use for health, stamina, energy, hunger, or any other metric in your game. The quickest way to create a health bar by far is to just use a slider. So let's click on this plus button, then go to UI canvas, and let's add a slider. And here I added a second scene where I set it here to 2D. That way we get a view on our canvas. So let's click on canvas and hit F. That way I can focus on it. And then we have our slider here. Let's move it somewhere around here, and perhaps let's make it a little bit bigger. So let's switch to the rec tool and let's make this slider bigger like this. Okay, it doesn't look like a health bar, but I assure you this is indeed a health bar. So I'm going to move my value over here. Let's go to the handle. We can just deactivate this object with Alt-Shift-A or by unchecking this checkbox here. All right, so let's open this fill area and let's go to fill, and here we can change the color. So if we set it to a red color, and then here if we click on background and set the color here of the image to black or like something grayish, dark gray, this will look more like an actual health bar, but that's not enough. So here I'm going to just resize it a little bit. So it's a little bit bigger on our game view here. Let's go back to our slider. Let's set the value to 0. So here you'll notice that we have a bit of that red image showing, and if we set the value to 100, it doesn't go all the way to the right, and this is due to the fact that the handle will usually hide this area. So let's go to fill area, and here in left I'm going to set it to 0, and on right I'm also going to set it to 0. Then let's go to fill, and here on left I'm going to set it to 0, and I'm going to set right to 0 as well. All right, now our health bar is perfect. It goes all the way to the right when the value is at 1, and then it can go all the way back to 0 when the value is 0. And here we can change the max value. For example, if we have health points that go from 0 to 100, we can set the max value to 100. Okay, let's create a script that will control this health bar. And we don't want to call it health bar. We want to call it something generic like energy bar, because like I said, we are going to use it for a lot of things, perhaps for stamina, perhaps for your player's energy level or something else. So let's create a script and let's call it energy bar. All right, let's put all our code under the Elden Ring namespace, because why not? Here we'll need a reference to a slider. For this we need to use unityengine.ui. So here let's add it, serialize field slider, and let's force our script to actually have a slider next to it. Let's use a require component attribute with type of slider. And at edit time, we want to fetch the slider's reference using an onValidate. So if slider is null, we're going to set slider to get component slider. Okay, so we have our slider. Now let's add some useful methods that we can use from the outside. Let's add a public set max points, where we're going to set the max value of our slider. Then let's add a public void set points, where we're going to set the value on our slider. Then let's add a public void damage points. Then let's add the opposite method, restore points. So in damage point, we will subtract the damage here from the slider's value. And in restore points, we're going to add the points to the value. Let's create another script that will control this energy bar. And in fact, this script could be a placeholder for a player UI script or a heads up display script. In fact, let's just call it heads up display or HUD. We're going to have a reference to an energy bar for health and another energy bar for our stamina. Now, in order to test our methods, I'm going to define here a max health and max stamina. And in the start method, we're going to set the max value on both the bars here. So let's call set max points on both our bars and set the max health here and the max stamina for our stamina bar. And that's it. We'll do the rest through a set of buttons on the UI. On the main camera, I'm going to set the background solid color and set it to a dark gray color, just so we're not distracted with the skybox. So here what I'm going to do is rename this to health bar, and I'm going to duplicate it and have the second bar down here. And then for this one, I'm going to call it stamina bar. And let's go to fill area, then fill, and let's change the color here to green and perhaps something desaturated. It's always a good idea to desaturate your colors, move them towards the gray, because very saturated colors don't usually look good and you'll have a hard time combining many of them. Okay, so with these colors, we have a better looking UI. Now let's go back to our canvas. So in fact, let's right click here, create empty, and let's call this HUD. And let's click here, Alt click here to stretch over the whole canvas. And then let's have our health bar and stamina bar as children of HUD. And perhaps on canvas, we can change the UI scale mode to scale with screen size and choose a reference resolution. So here I have 4K, so I'm going to use it 3840 by 2160 and then match the height. Okay, so on our HUD object, let's add our component HUD. And here on health bar, let's add our component, add component energy bar. Okay, thanks to the onValidate method, the slider here has been automatically set. And let's do the same for stamina bar, add component energy bar, and let's have it here at the top. And then let's go back to heads up display and drag and drop health bar here and stamina bar here. Okay, let's add some buttons to test our bars. Let's right click on HUD, then UI canvas, then button text mesh pro. Okay, I'm going to make my button a little bit bigger. I can simply change the scale here. Okay, let's have my button here, and then we're going to change the text. Let's change it to health minus, and let's also change the name of the object to damage health. And let's have another button by duplicating this one. Let's call it restore health. In fact, we're going to need 4 buttons, so I created 4 buttons here, and I changed the text here to health minus, health plus, stamina minus, or this should be stamina minus, and here it should be stamina plus. And let's connect them to the methods on our energy bars. So for damage health, in on click, let's click this plus button and then drag and drop health bar. And in function, let's look for energy bar, then damage points, and let's damage it by, let's say 40. And I'm going to do the same for the restore health button. Let's click here, then drag and drop health bar here, then look for the energy bar restore points method, and we're going to restore, let's say 20 points. And I'm going to do the same for stamina. In the code, I forgot to set the points on the bars at the beginning. So let's go back to the HUD script. When we set the max points, let's also set the points. So let's also set the points to max health on our health bar, and let's set the points on the stamina bar to max stamina. That way the bars will be full at the beginning. All right, let's run our game and test our code. So here I'm going to click health minus, and as you can see here, my health is damaged. And same goes for stamina. If I click stamina minus, I get a damage on stamina. And in fact, for damage stamina, I'm damaging by 60 points. And if I hit stamina plus, I'm healing by 80 points, like I did here in the on-click callback. All right, so health minus, 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 and now the character is dead, and stamina minus, stamina minus. Of course, if you have gameplay, the stamina bar will refill automatically, but we don't have it, so I'm just going to hit plus, and health also we can hit plus and then refill our health. At this point, we already have a functioning energy bar that can be used for anything, health, stamina, or anything else, but we can make it even better. So we're going to work on the image here, the images of the health bar, and use some actual artwork instead of simple colors. Then we're going to add our intermediate or smooth bar to each of these bars. I have a beautiful pack here by Kenny from kenny.nl. So let's click on our health bar here, then on fill. And here we want to change the source image. So if we click here, then we can find Kenny's images. And here they are. Let's pick this one, or perhaps this one, button square. Okay. And then for the background, let's also pick the same one, button square. Okay. Now let's go to button square. So in fact, in order to see this on my image, I had to go through each of these images here, or select them all with Control A, and here set the texture type to sprite 2D and UI, and set the sprite mode to single. But in order for this to work, we need a sliced image. So I'm going to click on my background here, then look for button square gloss. Let's open the sprite editor. In order for this to work, we need to go to Window, Package Management, then Package Manager. I have no idea why the 2D sprites package is not included by default, but this is the state of Unity right now. We need to actually import the 2D sprite package. So you can go to Unity registry, then look for 2D sprites, then install it here, and you should get this window. So if we go to button square gloss, if we click here on open sprite editor, we can actually define a border here by dragging these green dots. So I'm going to choose a border away from this artwork. That way the center of this grid will be able to repeat, but the actual elements on the border will not. Okay, let's hit apply on my background, or let's work on the fill first. In the image type, let's change it to sliced. So as you can see here, we have a nice image. So the elements at the border will not repeat or will not be stretched, but the center of the image will indeed be stretched. And we can also choose the scale here. So if you want the border to be bigger or smaller, but let's keep it at 1. And let's do the same for the background. So change image type to sliced, and that's it. And let's do the same for the stamina bar. Okay, so our bars are looking much nicer. Now what I'm going to do is on my health bar, I'm just going to click on it, then hit Control D to duplicate it. And let's put this inside of the health bar, and let's rename it to lazy bar. And I'm going to remove the energy bar script and just keep the slider. Okay, let's change the value here, and let's go to the fill of the lazy bar. So let's go to fill here, and let's change the color. We want something more flashy, more bright, and more saturated. So let's pick this yellowish orangey color, and we can just copy this lazy bar and right click here, paste special as a child of the stamina bar. And let's make sure it's between the background and the fill area. That way we'll have the fill area at the top, and then our lazy bar, and then the background behind them. For the stamina bar, let's choose a greenish color. In fact, I can just pick the color of the stamina bar and work on that. So let's make it a bit brighter and a bit more saturated, and let's shift it a little bit to the blue color. Yeah, perhaps let's desaturate it. It will look better. Yeah, something like that, something flashy that will look good on screen. Okay, let's work on our energy bar script. And here let's add a second slider, or in fact, let's add a header here. Let's call it lazy bar. And let's add another slider. Let's call it lazy slider. And let's add a float, lazy delay. This is the time it will take our lazy slider to catch up with the actual slider. And internally, let's define a private float. This is going to keep track of the time where the lazy slider needs to catch up to the main slider. Let's call it lazy catch up time. In set points, we're going to also set the value of the lazy slider. So let's do lazy slider.value equals points. Let's work on restore points first. So when we're restoring the points, it's useless to have the lazy slider catch up to the main slider. We'll simply set the value to the value of the slider. So let's do lazy slider.value equals slider.value. Now on damage points, however, instead of setting the value on the lazy slider, we're going to set lazy catch up time to time.time plus lazy delay. Now let's add an update method. So I'm going to add it here below on validate, void update. So if time.time is greater or equal to lazy catch-up time. Then we need the lazy slider to slowly move towards the actual slider value. So lazy slider.value. And for this, we're going to use a lerp, mathf lerp between lazy slider.value towards the actual target value, which is slider.value. And for the t parameter in the lerp, we're going to use a small value, let's say 10, multiplied by delta time, so time delta time. And we can have this also as a parameter. So this will be the movement speed or the smoothness of the catch-up movement. But a value of 10, I guess it will do. All right, so let's save. Now back to Unity. On our health bar, we need to actually set our lazy bar here. So let's set it here in the energy bar component. And let's do the same for the stamina bar. Let's drag and drop lazy bar here. Okay, and we're ready to test. Let's save and let's run the game. So I'm going to damage my health here. Okay, so this is not working. Okay, so I see the problem here. It has nothing to do really with our code. We simply forgot to set the max value on the lazy bar as well. So let's do it on energy bar. Let's click here, edit script. And when we're setting the max points, let's also set them on the lazy bar. So here, let's do lazy slider dot max value equals max points. Okay, I'm going to damage my health. Boom. So I get the damage here. And then 1 second later, the secondary bar is going to catch up with the main bar. And then when we restore health, you can see that the bar is immediately set to the new points. Boom, boom, boom. I'm taking some damage. And let's also take damage on stamina. Let's click on health bar, then control click on stamina bar. And let's set the delay to 0.5 on both. And let's test it. Okay, let's damage our health here. Nice. So a shorter delay seems to work best. Boom, boom, boom. And I get this, then stamina. Alright guys, we have created an energy bar that you can reuse anywhere, whether it be for your health system, for your stamina, or any other meter in your game. And you notice here that it is not dependent on gameplay. We can in fact attach this and use it from a script for the player health system. We can also have a screen space canvas on each enemy and have this health bar over there and use it with the enemy script and control it from there. So you can control it using these methods. So here on our buttons, we are using the damage points, restore points methods to control this. And we have also access to the set points and set max points methods. And with this, we have created a reusable energy bar that you can use pretty much everywhere. And I really love the health bars here from Software's games. When you get some damage, you get this really bright color, this yellowish color, or here, this really saturated color. It immediately indicates to the player that, oh my God, something has happened. I have consumed my stamina or my health is being damaged. So this is a nice touch to add to polish up your gameplay. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like on this video for more tips like this and more educational content about game development and about Unity in particular. Alright, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.